Small and medium enterprises, or SMEs for short, play a major role in most economies, especially in emerging markets. They account for the majority of businesses worldwide and are important contributors to job creation and global economic development. According to the World Bank, SMEs contribute about 90% of all businesses and more than 50% of all employment worldwide. The same article states that formal SMEs contribute up to 40% of GDP in emerging economies. Speaking of Africa, SMEs create 80% of employment, establishing a new middle class and stimulating demand for new goods and services. Take, for instance, a country like Kenya, where its thriving SME sector constitute 98% of all business in the country and create 30% of the jobs annually, according to the National Economic Survey report by the Central Bank of Kenya. In 2017 alone, Kenya's overall GDP growth was projected at 6.4%, with SMEs contributing 3%. While the country's SMEs create numerous jobs and boost the country's GDP, they continue to face a myriad of challenges that hamper their growth. This, however, is not a situation that is unique to Kenya alone, but the rest of Africa. Why is this? Our quest for answers led us to the Sme Founders Association in Kenya, where we engaged Vice Chairwoman Frida Owenga. Frida, thank you so much for coming here on First Issues. Before we go any further into our conversation, you could start off first by telling us what your organization is and what it does.
My organization is really, I'm a vice president of partnerships at an organization called Sme Founders Association. I help people package their passion into revenue-generating ventures. At Sme Founders Association, we are a network. We're a network of business owners that have come together to support each other to ensure that we enhance our competence, our compliance, and our ability to access capital for the key reason of fostering the creation of decent and sustainable work. Because we feel that many people, especially in Africa, in Kenya, in Africa as a whole, people are thrown into entrepreneurship because there's no work, but they don't have the prerequisite skills to start a business. They may have gone to school, but our education is designed to help us get a job. So those skills are great to work for somebody else, but they don't work when you're your own boss.
As a country whose SME sector is thriving, what would you attribute as the main driver of this success?
One of the things, Kenyans are very educated. We have a very good education system. So most of the business owners have a good education. Our problem is lack of jobs. So the fact that they're starting with a good education helps, and then also willingness to learn more. So you find we have a lot of programs around entrepreneurship development, and then also getting coaches and mentors. Because like now at the association, we don't just provide classes and courses, we also provide business advisory. Instead of going to Google to get the answers, you have a real person who knows your environment and ecosystem, who can respond and give you help.
While Kenya has a fairly successful SME sector, this has not been without challenges that have, hindered this industry from reaching its optimum potential, right? So maybe at this point we could talk about those specific challenges.
I find that many times people start a business, they engage a supplier or they engage another business owner without doing their due diligence. But just like corporate does their due diligence on suppliers, business owners, we're encouraging business owners now more than before. That's why we have the compliance part of, the compliance in our menu of services. How do you trust somebody? What are the things that you need to look out for? Just simple KYC, know your customer due diligence. Things have made people get hurt. Consultants who are well-meaning but not competent enough to help the business owner. So there's no perfection. We shouldn't aim for perfection, but there needs to be a process whereby there's arbitration, there's mediation. I think mediation better than arbitration. Mediation in terms of if things don't work out, what do you do? Do you throw the baby out with the bathwater? So one of the things that, I want to say is lack of competitiveness. Because see, when you're working to be a competitive organization, you have systems, you have structures, and part of the systems and structures is knowing who to trust, who to do business with, so that you are not desperate doing business with anyone.
But let us now talk strategy. What strategies do you think support SME growth?
For us, it is three-pronged, ensuring that our business owners can generate cash consistently, cash that will meet their lifestyle, cash that will meet their operations and their obligations. And then as they're getting this cash, to ensure they have order, they're getting in the right people, they're setting up the right processes so that the business can continue whether they're there or not. And as they're doing these two things, ensuring that the profit is being used for stability.
With that, and a bit of reading and a bit of research, what do you think has hindered the growth and sustainability of Africa's SME sector?
The first thing is, the copycat mentality, which is a mind thing, and how we are conditioned in our education. Our education is for us to work for somebody. And when you go to work for somebody, you're given one thing that you're supposed to do, and you do that thing well, and you get paid. But in a business, you have to think outside the one thing. You have to think the whole thing. What is required? What is the existing problem? What is the solution I'm going to use to fix this problem? Who am I going to need around it? What are the processes that are going to be required to continue creating this product and sending it out to the market? So it starts with the mindset thinking, I'm the boss, I should know everything, I can do everything. No, you are the boss, you should know what is required and who is required to do it with.
So ultimately, do you think that some of Africa's emerging economies, such as Botswana and others, have the potential to grow their SME sectors to where they could contribute more than 50% to their country's GDPs?
Do I think they have the potential? Absolutely. However, maybe they need to change their strategies, because when we talk about potential, and right now in Africa, we talk about the Africa Free Trade Continental Area Agreement, which gives us opportunity to trade across borders. But why are we struggling to do that? We don't have enough volumes as an individual organization. But if I can work with other organizations, so again, mindset, the mindset conditioning that I have to do everything by myself, it is my name on the door or my name in the business. So I'm not comfortable collaborating with others, so I can't go far. But if we can come together and do bigger things together, we can, go across borders together, we will affect our economies. Being myopic about a business is starting a business because I don't have a job, starting a business so that I can pay my bills, and those things are very honorable. But businesses that are going to affect the GDP need to be businesses that are strategically positioned to solve real problems in the country. So I believe that if we come together, we can collectively make a difference, but it must first start with us having a bigger vision, conceptualizing what our real problems are. Because if we are talking GDP, we are talking an economy of a nation. But when we are talking Frida starting her business, Frida is just concerned about her children, about her home. All right. She doesn't even understand how that GDP affects the food on her plate. I'm like, that I don't need all that mumbo jumbo.